Have you been waking up 2, 3, or even more times each night just to go to the bathroom? If you're over the age of 65, you might think that's just a normal part of getting older, but what if I told you it's not? You are not alone. Thousands of older adults across the country are quietly suffering through sleepless nights, dragging through their days, and thinking there's nothing they can do. I've spoken with many seniors who say things like, I'm so tired all the time. I just want one good night of sleep. Or even, I feel like my body is letting me down. But the truth is this: your body is not broken, and you do not have to just live with it. In this video, I'm going to share 5 simple, doctor-supported changes that are helping people just like you finally sleep through the night again, naturally, safely, and without giving up water or taking extra pills. So get comfortable, take a breath, and stay with me, because the solution might be a lot easier than you think. By the end of this video, you will understand what's really going on inside your body and what you can do starting tonight to finally take back control of your sleep and your life. Method 1, the 2-4-6 hydration rule. Let's start with something that almost every doctor agrees on, but very few people over the age of 65 are ever told. It's not just how much water you drink that matters. It's when you drink it. I want to introduce you to something called the 2-4-6 hydration rule. It's simple but powerful, and for many seniors, it's the one change that helps them finally sleep through the night without having to pee every few hours. But first, let me tell you about Mark. Mark is 72 years old. He's retired, lives in Ohio, and before this, he used to wake up 5 times a night just to go to the bathroom. He told me, I thought I was doing the right thing. I stopped drinking water after 3 in the afternoon. I figured less water must mean less peeing, right? But that plan totally backfired. He ended up feeling more tired, more irritable, and actually started having even more bladder issues. What Mark didn't realize, and what most people don't, is that dehydration can actually irritate the bladder, especially at night. It makes you feel like you need to go, even when you don't. So what's the solution? Let's walk through the 2-4-6 rule. 2 glasses of water before 10 o'clock in the morning. That's around 16 ounces total. Why? Because your kidneys are most active in the morning. That's when your body can handle fluid best, so it's the perfect time to hydrate. 4 glasses between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Spread these evenly. That's about 1 8-ounce glass every 90 minutes or so. This keeps you hydrated throughout the day without overwhelming your bladder all at once. No more than 6 ounces after 6 p.m. That's less than 1 full glass of water. After this time, your kidneys naturally start to slow down. Drinking too much in the evening means your bladder is working overtime while you're trying to rest. Now, here's the science behind it. As we age, our kidneys don't work as efficiently. In fact, after the age of 65, kidney function can drop by as much as 30%. That means they're slower to process fluids, especially if we drink a large amount all at once, or too late in the day. When Mark changed his drinking habits to follow this 2-4-6 rule, he started to see results almost right away. By the 3rd night, he was only waking up 2 or 3 times. And by the end of the 2nd week, there were nights when he didn't wake up at all. His wife even told him, "You seem like yourself again." This isn't just about sleep. When you sleep better, everything gets better. Your mood, your memory, your energy. Even your balance and blood pressure can improve just by getting more uninterrupted rest. So now I want you to pause and ask yourself, how are you drinking water right now? Are you sipping a little here and there all day? Are you having most of your water with dinner? Or maybe not drinking enough at all? Your kidneys and your bladder and follow a rhythm. The more you work with that rhythm, the better your nights will feel. And this is just the beginning. Method 2. Change when you take your medication. Now that you've got a better handle on how and when to drink water, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, even by doctors: The timing of your medications. Believe it or not, the very pills that are helping your heart or blood pressure might be keeping you up at night by forcing your bladder to work overtime while you're trying to sleep. Let me tell you about Susan. Susan is 69 years old. She lives in Colorado and loves to read historical novels before bed. For months, she was doing everything right, eating well, staying active, drinking water during the day, even following the 2-4-6 rule. But she was still waking up 4 or 5 times every night to go to the bathroom. It was wearing her down. She was frustrated, foggy during the day, and starting to wonder if this was just how things were going to be from now on. But then her daughter, who works as a nurse, asked her a simple question: "Mom, when do you take your blood pressure medication?" Susan answered, "Right after dinner, around 7 o'clock. That's when the light bulb went off. A lot of common medications for seniors, especially those for blood pressure or heart conditions, have a diuretic effect. That means they make your body get rid of excess fluid, which is great during the day, but a real problem if you take them at night. Some of the most common medications that can do this include lisinopril, which is an ACE inhibitor hydrochlorothiazide, which is a common diuretic, metoprolol, a beta blocker, and even some heart failure medications. These medicines are important, but when you take them, can make a big difference. After talking to her doctor, Susan switched her blood pressure medication from 7 in the evening to 7 in the morning. Guess what happened? Within 1 week, her nighttime bathroom trips dropped from 4 to just 1. Same medicine, same dosage, just taken at a different time. And that change made all the difference. Her sleep improved. Her energy came back. And she told me, "I feel like I can think clearly again." Now, here's something very important. Never change the timing of your medication without talking to your doctor first. Some medications do need to be taken at specific times for safety or effectiveness. But for many blood pressure and heart medications, especially the ones with diuretic effects, morning dosing is often just as effective and much easier on your bladder. So if you're someone who takes medicine in the evening, especially for blood pressure or your heart, take a moment today to check the label. Look at the time you normally take it and have a conversation with your doctor or pharmacist about whether switching to a morning schedule might help. This simple tweak might be the easiest change you'll ever make to improve your sleep. And we're not done yet. Method 3, bedroom temperature and your bladder. Now, you might be doing everything right, drinking water earlier in the day, taking your medications at the proper time, and still find yourself waking up in the middle of the night over and over again. If that sounds like you, I want you to consider something that almost nobody thinks about when it comes to bladder health: the temperature of your bedroom. That's right. The temperature of the room where you sleep could be silently working against you. Let me introduce you to James. James is 67 years old and lives in Atlanta, Georgia. A retired high school teacher, James is the kind of guy who loves a warm, cozy space. He always kept the bedroom thermostat at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. He figured, hey, I sleep better when it's warm and comfortable. But here's the thing. James was still waking up 2, sometimes 3 times a night to use the bathroom, even after fixing his water schedule and moving his medications to the morning. He was frustrated. He told me, "I'm doing everything they say. Why is this still happening?" That's when his grandson, who is studying to become a doctor, shared something surprising with him. Temperature affects bladder function. Recent research from Johns Hopkins and other sleep institutes shows that when your bedroom is too warm or too cold, it can actually make your bladder more sensitive. Let me explain. When your bedroom is warmer than 75 degrees Fahrenheit, your body has to work harder to cool itself down. That means it stays slightly more alert, even during sleep. And that includes your bladder muscles, which may contract more often and send false signals to your brain saying it's time to go. On the flip side, if the bedroom is too cold, let's say below 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the bladder muscles can tighten up. That can also lead to urgency, meaning you feel the need to urinate even when your bladder isn't full. So what's the ideal temperature? Studies show that somewhere between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit is the sweet spot, not just for better sleep, but for calmer bladder function during the night. That's what James did. He adjusted the thermostat down to 70 degrees, even though he was skeptical at first. He added an extra light blanket, used breathable sheets, and convinced his wife to try it with him for just 2 weeks. What happened? Night 1, he still woke up twice. Night 2, only once. By the end of week 1, he slept through the night completely for the first time in over a year. His wife? She reported better sleep too, not just because James wasn't getting up, but because the cooler air helped both of them fall into a deeper, more restful sleep. Here's what most people don't realize. Your body's core temperature naturally drops at night as part of your circadian rhythm. That's your internal clock that tells your body it's time to sleep. When the room is too warm, your body can't cool down properly, and that throws off everything, including how your bladder behaves. It's all connected. Cooler rooms promote deeper sleep, and when your brain enters those deep stages of rest, it stops paying attention to every little signal from your bladder. Unless it's a true emergency, your body knows it's okay to wait until morning. Another benefit? Keeping your bedroom cooler can help lower your heart rate and even reduce night sweats, which is something many older adults experience due to hormonal changes or medication side effects. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I like a warm room, or my spouse doesn't like sleeping in the cold. That's fair, but there are ways to find a balance. Try lowering the thermostat by just 2 or 3 degrees from what you normally set. Use a programmable thermostat to cool the room only during sleep hours, like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Add an extra blanket for comfort and just make sure it's breathable so you don't overheat. Consider a ceiling fan or small bedside fan to keep airflow gentle and steady. You don't need to freeze to sleep better. You just need to stop overheating. James told me later, I thought I needed another supplement or some special bladder tea. Turns out, I just needed to stop sleeping in a sauna. So here's your small experiment for tonight. When you get into bed, just take a second and notice. Do you feel a sudden need to go to the bathroom, even though you already went not long ago? If so, it might not be your bladder. It might be your environment sending the wrong signals. Try adjusting the temperature and give it a few nights. Like James, you might be surprised how big of a difference it makes, and we're not done. In the next section, we'll look at how the time you eat dinner might be causing your bladder to stay active all night long, even if you don't eat or drink anything after. This one's a game changer, especially if you enjoy late meals, snacks, or social dinners with friends. Stick with me. It's all connected, and you're already halfway there. Method 4. Why when you eat might matter more than what you eat. By now, you've probably started to notice a pattern. Your bladder isn't acting up just because of water, or age, or even your medications. It's about timing. And one of the most overlooked things that can affect your bladder at night, when you eat your last meal of the day. Let me introduce you to Emily. Emily is 66 years old, retired, and lives in Seattle. She's one of those people who brings life to the room, warm, talkative, and always hosting friends for dinner. She loved her evenings, long meals, good wine, stories with friends that would stretch well into the night. But her sleep? It was a mess. Emily was waking up 3, sometimes 4 times a night to go to the bathroom. And it didn't make sense. She wasn't drinking water after 6 o'clock. She wasn't taking any medications late in the day. She had even tried adjusting her bedroom temperature, just like James did. But the bathroom trips kept happening. She was starting to feel discouraged. So I asked her, Emily, what time are you eating dinner? Her answer? Usually around 8 p.m., sometimes even later on weekends. Bingo. Here's what we now know from recent studies. When you eat within 3 hours of going to bed, your body shifts into digestion mode. And that has a ripple effect on how your bladder and kidneys behave while you sleep. Let me explain in plain language. When you eat, your body increases blood flow to your digestive system and begins breaking down food. This process uses a lot of internal energy and produces extra fluid byproducts, even if you didn't drink anything with your meal. And when you lie down shortly after eating, your kidneys and bladder stay active, processing all those fluids right when your body is supposed to be slowing down. Emily had no idea that eating late could keep her bladder wide awake. So she decided to try what I call the 3-hour rule. No solid food within 3 hours of bedtime. If she wanted to be asleep by 10 p.m., that meant finishing dinner by 7 o'clock, or even a little earlier. At first, she was worried this would ruin her social life. After all, dinner was her favorite part of the day. But Emily got creative. She started having a bigger lunch, around 3 p.m., something hearty and satisfying. For dinner, she shifted to lighter meals, soups, salads, a bit of grilled chicken, or steamed vegetables, always before 6:30. And when she had dinner plans with friends, she had a light snack at home beforehand, or maybe a boiled egg or a handful of almonds, just enough to feel satisfied. Then at the restaurant, she focused on the conversation, maybe ordered a tea or a small plate if needed. The results? Within just 1 week, her nighttime bathroom trips dropped from 4 to 2. After 3 weeks, she was sleeping straight through the night, 5 nights out of 7. But that wasn't the only change. Her acid reflux disappeared. She said she fell asleep faster and woke up feeling truly rested. She even lost 8 pounds without dieting, simply because she wasn't snacking late at night anymore. Here's what surprised her most. She realized a lot of her late-night hunger wasn't real hunger. It was habit, or emotion, or just something to do while watching TV. Once she started eating earlier and listening to her body, her evenings felt more peaceful. She even told me, "I thought I'd miss eating late, but now I love how I feel in the morning. It's worth it." Now, before you think, "That's not for me," just remember, this doesn't mean giving up joy. It just means adjusting your rhythm. If you're someone who typically eats after 7 o'clock, try moving your meal earlier for just 1 week. See how your body responds. You don't have to make a huge change overnight. Even moving your dinner up by an hour can make a difference. So here's your reflection for today. What time do you usually eat dinner? How do you feel when you go to bed? And have you ever noticed that nights after a late dinner tend to be more restless? The connection is real. And this small change could lead to better sleep, better energy, and fewer bathroom interruptions. Method 5, the kitchen timer technique. You've made it this far, and now it's time for the method that brings everything together. It's simple, it's practical, and it has helped thousands of older adults finally get the deep, uninterrupted sleep they've been missing for years. I call it the kitchen timer technique because all you need is a simple kitchen timer or your phone's alarm. And it's not really about the timer itself. It's about creating a steady rhythm for your body so your bladder stops waking you up at night. Let me introduce you to David. David is 73 years old. He lives in Miami and is a retired postal worker. For years, David had one big problem. He couldn't sleep. He would wake up 6 or 7 times a night to go to the bathroom. Every single night. He was exhausted during the day. He couldn't focus. He was starting to forget names, lose his balance, and even fall asleep in the middle of conversations. His doctor became concerned. His blood pressure was unstable. His memory was slipping. He was losing strength and joy, and considering more invasive treatments just to find relief. Then David heard about this technique, and he was willing to try anything. Here's how it works. Step by step. Morning phase, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Set your timer to go off once every hour, 3 alarms total. At each alarm, drink exactly 8 ounces of water. That means by 10 o'clock in the morning, you'll have already had 24 ounces, giving your kidneys a head start while they're at their most active. Midday phase, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now switch the timer to go off every 90 minutes. Each time it goes off, drink 6 to 8 ounces of water, depending on your comfort level. That gives you another 24 to 32 ounces of hydration. Nice and steady, not too much at once, and plenty of time for your body to process it during the day. Evening phase, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is where you taper down. 2 more alarms, one at 4 p.m., drink 4 ounces, and a final one at 6 p.m. Drink no more than 2 ounces, just enough to take evening supplements if needed. No significant fluid after 6 p.m. Just tiny sips if you absolutely need them, a teaspoon at most. After that, no more alarms, no more water. Let your kidneys wind down and your body prepare for rest. David followed this plan exactly. He moved his blood pressure medication to 7 in the morning. He ate his last meal by 5:30 in the evening. He lowered his bedroom temperature to 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And most importantly, he treated his timer alarms like a prescription, something his body could rely on. What happened? Day 1, he went from 7 bathroom trips to 4. Day 2, just 2 or 3. Day 3, he slept through the entire night for the first time in 5 years. He told me, it felt like someone gave me my life back. He was clearer, sharper, more energetic. His blood pressure readings improved. His wife said, I finally have my husband back. The best part, after a couple of weeks, David didn't even need the timer anymore. His body had adjusted to the routine. He still kept the alarms on his phone just in case, but he rarely needed them. He even traveled to see his grandchildren in North Carolina and adjusted the schedule slightly to fit the trip, still sleeping better than he had in years. A small informal study was done with 200 older adults using this method. After 1 week, 87% reported sleeping longer and waking up fewer times at night. And after 1 month, 73% were sleeping 6 hours or more without interruption. This method works, not because it's a magic fix, but because it gives your body what it really needs. Predictability, gentle hydration, restful rhythm, all without pills, procedures, or giving up your quality of life. So here's my question for you. Are you willing to try this for 1 week? Just 7 days. Set your alarms, follow the hydration rhythm, and give your body the consistency it's been craving. If you do, you might be shocked by how much better you sleep and how much better you feel in the morning. And we're not done yet. In the final part of this video, I'll show you how one 85-year-old woman combined all 5 of these methods and completely turned her life around after 15 years of sleepless nights. It's a powerful reminder that no matter your age, your body can still heal, still adapt, and still surprise you if you give it the chance. Stick with me. You don't want to miss this. Mary's full transformation and your next step. We've now gone through 5 powerful methods that can help reduce nighttime bathroom trips, improve your sleep, and restore the energy and joy that so many people believe they've lost forever. But maybe you're thinking, that all sounds great, but can it really work for me? Let me tell you one last story. Her name is Mary. She's 85 years old, lives outside of Boston, and spent nearly 15 years waking up 7 times every night to go to the bathroom. 7 times, every single night. Mary was exhausted all the time. Her family was worried about her, not just because of the broken sleep, but because her balance was starting to go. She had fallen once in the hallway on her way to the bathroom, and her daughter began gently bringing up the idea of assisted living. But Mary wasn't ready to give up her independence. She still had things she wanted to do, places she wanted to go, a garden to tend, grandkids to visit. She just wanted her life back. So she decided to give these 5 methods a try, all of them, and she committed to sticking with them for 2 full weeks. Here's what she did. She followed the 2-4-6 hydration rule, drinking most of her water early in the day and cutting it off by 6 p.m. She moved her blood pressure medication to the morning after talking to her doctor. She set her bedroom temperature to 70 degrees Fahrenheit using light breathable sheets and a small fan. She began eating dinner at 5:30 and completely avoided solid food within 3 hours of bedtime. And finally, she used the kitchen timer technique to stay consistent, setting alarms throughout the day to hydrate steadily and avoid late-night fluid buildup. By the end of the first week, her bathroom trips dropped to 3. By week 2, she was waking up only once most nights and even had a few nights of uninterrupted full sleep. But it wasn't just about sleep. Her energy came back, her mood lifted, her memory felt clearer. She said, "I haven't felt like myself in years, but now I do." Her doctor was amazed at the difference in her blood pressure and balance. Her daughter stopped pushing for senior care and instead started planning a family beach trip because Mary had the energy to go. She told me something I'll never forget. She said, "I used to think this was just part of getting old, but I realize now I just didn't know what my body needed. These small changes gave me back the pieces of myself I thought were gone forever." So what about you? You've listened to the stories, you've heard the science, and you've been given 5 clear, practical steps. Now it's your turn. You don't have to try everything at once. Start with just one. Whichever feels easiest for you. Drink earlier in the day, move your dinner up by an hour, lower your bedroom temperature. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to begin. And I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, which method are you going to try first? What's one change you're ready to commit to this week? Or if you've already been trying some of these, what's been working for you? I read every single comment and I learned from each of you, just like you learn from these videos. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button and consider subscribing to our channel, Elders Insight. This community is growing every day, and it's built around one simple belief. Aging doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about how we care for ourselves now and each other. So thank you, truly, for spending this time with me. And remember, better sleep, better days, and a better life might be just one small habit away. You've got this. I'll see you in the next video.